Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. There's still one more episode in Season 4, an entire Season 5, but this episode marks the end of a story arc. And this is the whole situation similar to the Shadow War. They settled the Shadow War, and it was almost like you could end the show on that. And then they had to deal with the situation with President Clark. And they did that. And so we end on this episode where Sheridan has to face the music, where the new interstellar alliance is formed, where Delenn and Sheridan get married, where Londo and Jakar become friends of some sort, that Londo becomes emperor upon the death of the regent, which is any time now. And we see that Sheridan's father, played by Rance Howard, is just fine, being released from captivity. And in fact, his mother had never been caught and is living in Minneapolis, not shown on screen. And then we have the further situation that Ivanova has fully recovered, although Marcus has died. So it's a well-crafted episode. It ties together just about everything, and we see what the political implications of Sheridan's actions are. The acting president, Lushenko, has already said that while what he did was right, it was not legal, and they have to balance this idea of doing the right thing but the wrong way. And so it forces Sheridan to have to give up his commission in Earth Force, which kind of he already did when he joined the Army of Light, but that's a whole different story there. He certainly would have wanted to go back into Earth Force, but did that sacrifice in order to gain amnesty for all the people that served under him. And a lot of the episode is narrated. You get a lot of the exposition through ISN, and that works pretty well too. The story on a very upset Ivanova and a dead Marcus is shared with Dr. Franklin, in which Ivanova says all love is unrequited. Apparently, Lanier hears this line and mentions it to Delenn later, and Delenn says, of course, that's not true, which is one of these kind of things that you can see just on the face of Lanier, that he more likely agrees with Ivanova's take on that. Seeing his unrequited love for Delenn has been ongoing throughout the entire series. So going forward, we kind of wonder just how those three are going to get along between Delenn and her aide Lanier and her husband Sheridan. So we'll see that. Also, we have some other reunited. Elise and Garibaldi are together finally. She now has the empire of the billionaire who started the problem with the poisoning all the telepaths or some such like that. And then we have also Bester, who comes in and puts a jammer on any kind of monitors in the room and speaks frankly with Sheridan. And Sheridan speaks pretty frankly back to Bester, and they foreshadow a war between the humans and the enhanced humans, the telepaths. And but one thing given to him was that the telepaths that were used in order to win this battle to reclaim Earth, there were only 30 out of the 100, and they were picked specially that they had no families, no connections to anyone. And Bester is concerned that the one that he fell in love with was among that group. But Sheridan says, I wouldn't even do it to you. And so a bigger man is Sheridan than Bester, obviously. However, it's always good to see Bester. Always good to see Rance Howard playing his Sheridan's father, who you see a lot of Ron Howard, where Ron Howard came from, the vocal styling, general body language, and things like this. I find kind of interesting. And the entire episode was directed by Tony Dow. We knew that since Leave It to Beaver, he had gone into directing, but this is the first credit I've ever seen of his that I've noticed anyway. And it was well handled, and everything ran very smoothly as far as the lines that take you from point A and point to point B as far as the story goes. And there was a lot to wrap up there. So it was a challenging show to direct, no doubt. Nevertheless, absolutely well done, absolutely worth seeing. And it puts us now in a whole new situation to where now we have Sheridan as the president of the Interstellar Alliance. He has demanded, in order for Earth to join, that Mars has to be independent. And so that fulfills promises that he made to the rebels there. And so we have a happy Bester, we have a happy Garibaldi, we have a happy Sheridan, we have Ivanova about as good as you get, and Lanier about as good as you get. So there's where you have, and Londo and Jakar being friends in kind of a trade insults way, which I find very entertaining. So next week, what the program is going to do to finish out this season is to provide a look back on this time, someone doing research, looking back 1,000 years or so to the beginnings of the Interstellar Alliance, and fill in some of the details of how this all fared. And then we will go into season 5 with some stories that are not of the story arc, but the final episode, which was supposed to be the end of this season when they thought they only had 4 seasons, is now going to be at the end of season 5. And this will be the last time we see Ivanova, except in the conclusion, because since they didn't know they were going to be picked up for season 5, she already had other contractual commitments and could not film season 5. So she'll only be seen in the last episode there, and they'll fix some way to figure out how to have her back. So that is the story right now. We recommend it to you, and it is a nice payoff for all of the rooting that we've been doing for the various sides since. So thank you for joining us. We'll be in later this week. Another talking film with Professor O will be coming up on Thursday, and then we'll be back with yet another episode of Doctor Who, our last Doctor Who John Pertwee adventure that we're going to do, another Babylon 5, and we'll be here again. So thank you for joining us. Until next time, don't go far.